of central west side that has no multi-gen center and also a lack of things, even like a library and so forth. So there's lots we're trying to put in here, but we've got the space, we've got the plan, and we've got enough money to start. So that's very exciting. So we're recognizing the need for these kinds of amenities in this part of town. And in Albuquerque, we are really also committed to connecting our families together through our community centers. That's what our multi-gen centers are all about. As a reminder, whether it's the Manzano Mesa one or Domingo Baca, they're like a senior center and a community center put together. And that really reflects pretty much what our families look like, which is multi-generational families all together being part of our community. So for us, it's high time we get one in the Northwest. And so this facility is going to be about 30,000 square feet. It's a 2-level complex, and we're excited about sort of that jogging track around the top, which has been very popular out at Domingo Baca. And the buildings will have a wide range of services, including sports facilities, meeting rooms, learning centers, food programs, very important for our senior community and for our kids, and social and recreational opportunities for all ages. Phase 1 of this project is going to be about $14 million, which includes design and construction. And we've got $6 million on the ballot that you can vote on this November in just 3 weeks. And so we also know that the Albuquerque Journal came out in favor of that bond initiative. So this is a good example of why it's so important. We also know we've had a lot of help from our legislators. We're going to hear from one of them shortly, but Senator Katie Duhigg, Representative Damon Eli, Representative Karen Bash have all either been supportive or are on tap to try and get us some additional funding in the upcoming legislative session. And with representatives here, Senator Ben Ray Lujan and Senator Martin Heinrich, they actually put in money into the federal stimulus bill. And so that's even better. And so hopefully that'll get voted on someday, but it's up to DC. But we appreciate our senators for really committing to this area. And that's a big chunk of that infrastructure stimulus funding that we're excited to hopefully get soon. So this project is going to be managed by, of course, our Municipal Development Department, and our architect. Also behind me is FBT Architects. So we're going to hear from a couple of folks, including community members on this, but let me just begin with a few words from the state senator in this area who's kind of helped coordinate some of the legislative efforts, Harold Pope. Senator?
Thank you, everyone, on this beautiful afternoon here on the west side. You know, it's a great day. It's a great day here in Albuquerque. And I just want to thank everyone that's been involved. You know, before I even thought about running for state senate, having a center like this, a multi-generational center, has always been a need of the community out here. Having access to meeting rooms, having access to broadband, having access to a gym, having an access to just where the community, everyone has a place to meet. And that's what this is going to provide here on the west side. And this is also an example of us working together at the state level. You know, the mayor, city council, the legislature, even our federal elected officials. And that's what we need to do. So once again, thank you for being here. I'm not going to, you know, take credit for this myself. This was a team effort. And I just want to give a shout out to Councilor Cynthia Borrego, because when she came in, this was one of her priorities to get this done. And now it's happening. So I'm very appreciative. And I just want to thank everyone for really listening to the community. That's how we get things done, and that's what's really making this happen. So I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone that's given their time, their effort, and their work. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And Senator gave a great overview of, I think, what it took to get this done. It also takes a city councilor who is just committed to this from day one. And she's our chairwoman of council also, of course, but you know, from the first time we started talking about when our terms began, Cynthia Borrego basically said two things: traffic, which she has been doggedly working on, whether it is up at Paseo as it sort of goes out to the west, or it's finishing up West Side Boulevard, or everything in between. And the second thing she mentioned was Cibola Loop. And so she continues to deliver on that. And this is a real stake in the ground that we're going to get this done thanks to her leadership. So our council president and city councilor for this area, Cynthia Borrego.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and just what a glorious day to be in District 5. I have to tell you that this project started with a master plan. It really started with a vision from the community. There were community meetings, and people gave their input as to what they would like to see on this 25-acre parcel. In that, it was noted that west of I guess north of I-25, I guess it's I-40, there were no multi-generational centers or big centers like we have with North Domingo Baca or places like that. Genoviva Chavez and Santa Fe, they have a community center, multi-generational center. There were, lacking services in District 5 for seniors and for our youth. And right across the street is Cibola High School. And, we talked to some of the APS folks and they said, oh, we would really like to see a swimming pool. We would like to see a track where people can exercise. We would like to see services for the seniors, for our youth. And meeting with some of the neighborhoods, the adjacent neighborhoods, they noticed the lack as well. And so really what today brings is some renderings from our wonderful architects that funding became an issue, and I had a lot of support from people like the mayor, from our senators and our representatives at the state level, from our federal delegation who were asking for funding for, but putting all this money together, ensuring that we had all the properties available has brought us to this day. And this day is the day that we're basically telling the community, here are the renderings for the first phase of the multi-generational center, a library to come and a swimming pool to come. So it's an exciting day. There's a lot of funding, and I'm happy to share that with the press. But there was a lot of funding from the city, there was funding from our GO bonds, there was funding from state capital outlay, and we're still requesting funding from the federal government to help us, from our senators and our Congress people. So with that, I think it's important to note that this is going to be an activity center. It's going to create a sense of place for the community, and it's going to give all of us sort of that pathway to making that vision come true. That is really something to be said. And it's an exciting day for District 5, and I hope that many people use this in the future. I know that they will. I know I'll be one of them first, probably walking that path. I just had somebody today, Ms. Garcia, said, hey, we'll be walking that path together, and we will. But from this day forward, the next phase, once now that the design is done, we will be looking for construction, and we will be looking for turning that shovel in the very near future with all of these individuals who have contributed. And with that, I want to also welcome some of our residents that are with us here today. Mayor, would you like to announce them?
Yeah, why don't you announce them and I'll hold the board here.
Okay,
So,
well, I
yeah,
would like to
Nina.
announce, I would like to have Nena Perkins come up from 7 Bar neighborhood, and also Dubra Carnes, Padilla. And if you'd like to say something.
I would like to say that we are just so excited for this multicultural center. I think it has a lot of potential. It's going to bring generations together. I'm very excited about the pool, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get our young kids in the area involved in maybe a swim club. And I'm a little familiar with community centers because my father, who is 93, used to go to several of the community centers here, and and I'm really hoping to be able to bring him to this one as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
I also am a resident of a neighborhood that's adjacent to here, and I serve on the Department of Senior Affairs Advisory Council and the Age-Friendly Committee. And this is an age-friendly project, and Albuquerque is designated an age-friendly city. And so this is going to lead us further into how to make our cities, through the continuum of life, age-friendly, walkable, and livable. So I'm very happy to see this project. It's not only going to benefit my neighborhood, but all of the children that are around here, the elders that we have in our community, the working families. So thank you so much for everyone who's been involved in this, and I can't wait to see it.
Switch back here for one more speaker. Thank you so much. And so this piece of property in the whole complex, we mentioned some of the components to it, whether it's senior housing or whether it's possibly a library. TBD, we're going to start with the Multi-Gen Center. That's the key. That's really the anchor that is the most used across all demographics, and that's why we're starting with that. And that also means that operations of this are going to fall under Director of Senior Affairs, Anna Sanchez. Come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. So the Department of Senior Affairs is very excited to be the first to provide city services in this northwest quadrant of the community. The Cibola Loop Multi-Generational Center will complement well our department's two other multi-generational centers, North Domingo Baca and Manzano Mesa. The concept of a multi-generational center is that it has ongoing activities and programs that appeal to all ages, and you've heard of some of those activities that are going to be taking place earlier. Projects like this help us continue to build an age-friendly community that provides support to those that span generations. I'm very grateful to have the mayor's continued support for bringing community spaces like this to fruition, and for Council Borrego's tireless efforts to get this project moving in response to the community's needs. This really demonstrates the importance of the state and city government leadership working together to help Albuquerque's aging population, as well as engaging younger generations in preparing for longer lives. We're excited to anchor this facility and look forward to serving many generations of Burqueños in the future. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I think if there's questions, you can pull aside whoever you're interested in, and Denise can kind of organize us. So with that, thanks everyone for coming out. And good to see our federal delegation representatives here. And we will be excited, hopefully after the session and after the winter break with Congress, we're aiming in the spring to really get going on this. So it's not that far away, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Thanks for help.